Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Oxnard Live. I'm your host, Daniel Chavez Jr. As anybody who has ever filled out applications for college or university, as simple as going to community college or to a four-year university, it can be challenging, confusing, and the million questions is, where do I start? Where do I get the support? And is this even English that I'm reading? A lot of times these questions always come up, but I am very excited to have the team behind the Student for the Students Network that will be able to answer those questions as well as tell you how they can assist you. Whether you're a high school student looking into community college or the university, or maybe you already graduated and you're thinking about it, they are going to answer those burning questions. And remember, Oxnard Live is fully interactive. So if you have a question, be sure to hit it into our live feed so that we are able to ask our panel. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join the team behind the Student for Students Network. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. And it's pretty exciting, and we should have a really great conversation. So just real quick, we have Janessa, we have Esmeralda, we have Ida, and we have Larissa. And we'll start with some quick introductions as to the team behind it, and then we'll move into what the organization and what its goal and passion is moving forward. So we'll start with the founder, Janessa.
Yes, hello. Thank you so much for having us. I really appreciate it, and we're very excited to be here. Hi everyone. My name is Janessa Garcia. I am a student at Cal Lutheran. I'm majoring in political science, and as he mentioned, I am the operations director of the Student for Students Network.
Awesome. Oh, sorry. We'll now move into Ida.
Hi, greetings, everyone. Thanks so much for having us. It's such a joy to be able to share very useful information and resources with everyone. My name is Ida Jimenez Martinez, and I serve in this network in the role of mentor and educational liaison. Thank you.
Awesome. We'll now move into Larissa.
Hi everyone, I'm Larissa. I currently just graduated high school and I'm enrolling in college. I am the network's ambassador, the head one for the Student for Students Network, and I'm very excited to be here.
Awesome. And then Esmeralda.
Hi everyone, I'm Esmeralda de Garcia. I am Janessa's mom. I am a mom of three kids, born and raised in Oxnard, and I am helping in this network. I volunteer as the organizational development director, and I'm also a mentor in my specific field of communications and marketing.
Awesome. You said mom, and then my eyes just went, I'm like, no, that's impossible. But welcome all. I'm very excited that you all get to join us. And now I want to talk about how this even came about. Like I mentioned, college, thinking about college, the applications, the scholarships, the grants, whatever, it could be super overwhelming for somebody who does not have that mentors to be able to assist them, to be able to guide them. So Janessa, tell us how it came about, who started, well, obviously you started it, but what motivated you to bring this into the public?
Yeah, in the 2020 election, I ran for the OUHSD school board. And my main platform goal, I guess you could say, or one of my main platform goals was to really help students get more resources for, college and future, because obviously it's very important. And so after that 2020 election, I did lose, but I campaigned as the student for students because, of course, I just graduated from one of their institutions. And so I decided that, even though I lost, I didn't lose what I wanted to do. Like every passion that I had for helping students, it was all still there. And I felt that my, cause was too important to just let go of and say, oh, well, I lost. So, like, I guess I tried. And so then I decided to conceptualize the Student for Students network to really help students with college and just the entire, I guess, process.
Awesome. And I want to just throw it out there that you didn't lose. Yeah, you didn't gain the seat, but you gain a network, you gain a following. Take it from someone who ran in 2016 for city council, a nobody. I was only attending city councils the year prior, learning about the city, and I came in 6 or 7 out of 12 or 13 candidates, and this was citywide. So you didn't lose. You built your reputation, you built your name. So take that as a positive. It is not a bad thing that you didn't gain a seat, but I felt it was very bold of you that you just had graduated
Yeah.
and you were ready to take on the system, not in a negative way, but take it on and say, like, look, I graduated from this system. I know what needs to be changed, and I'm willing to step up and make those changes. So again, take it as a positive, and it
Definitely.
only propels you for the next time that you decide to run.
Yes.
I find it very interesting and exciting. But tell me a little bit more in regards to the mission, the vision of this network.
Yeah, so I guess the vision when I started this, obviously, once I didn't get the seat, it was kind of like, okay, well, we have to still do something for students. And so how are we going to make sure that we do, or I guess just plan a network that's really, it's useful, it's beneficial, that it actually reaches students and it helps them. And so through really, obviously we were in like deep COVID times. And so we really wanted to do digital platforms, and that's really what we're on right now. And so that's where students are at, that's where they're scrolling on Instagram, just trying to pass the time by. And so we thought, okay, well, we're going to utilize Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all of these platforms, and that's where we're going to spread our information, really help students there. And so I guess just to give you sort of like an example, through Instagram, we started a series, like a college exploration series, and it's where Ventura County students or graduates share their experience through the process and help other students, right? And so I guess the sort of just thought process behind that was, okay, well, students are scrolling, watching these videos just while they're, on Instagram. It's really useful and it's helpful. And so we definitely wanted to do something that not only was just there, but it actually reached students. And so, of course, we wanted to sort of meet them where they're at, which is once again like the social media platforms that we see today.
Esmeralda, I want to bring you into the conversation because, as you mentioned, that you are her mother. And what were your feelings as your daughter that just graduated from the local schools, and then decided, like, hey, you know what? I still want to serve my community. What are your thoughts about that and feelings when she brought this up to you?
Well, I think as any parent, usually when our kids undertake something, we have a little bit of fear because we want our kids to have everything. We want them to be successful. We don't want them to get any no's. But I mean, knowing Janessa, I knew that she was ready for it. She has a long background, a long history in school, in student government, not just at the high school that she went to, but also at the district level. So she really collaborated with a lot of the different high schools in the city of Oxnard, in Camarillo, with a lot of the presidents, the student body presidents. So she really had a big grasp on exactly what students were needing, exactly what students were saying that they weren't getting, were saying that they were trying to contact people and they just weren't getting that. So Janessa really took all of all of their perspectives. And she really started building this platform, these ideas of, specific actionable ways that she wanted to help students. And so because of that, it wasn't just a dream that she had. She came to me with concrete ideas of, Mom, I want to do A, I want to do B, and I want to do C, and all the way through Z for students. And I think it's possible this way. So I said to her, I'm behind you 100%. So most definitely, just because I knew her, but also seeing everything that she was doing, I thought it was wonderful. As a parent, I couldn't be prouder.
That's amazing. Larissa, you mentioned that you just graduated from high school. Disappeared. Tell us, what was your motivation to join Janessa in this network group, in this journey that she started during her campaign run, and then now continuing to be able to support students?
Well, when I first graduated high school, I went straight to college, to community college. So now I'm enrolled in Oxnard College. I was never given the guidance that I needed. My counselor kind of just signed papers for me and said, fill out the rest of the form. My signature's already there. And from there, Janessa confronted me and asked if I wanted to help other students. And I decided, yes, this is what I want to do. And I feel really good about it. And I'm really excited to help other students, like I said, get the knowledge that I never got and help them pursue their goal.
That's awesome. So let's talk about the services that are offered and how students are, I guess, talk about some of the concerns that students have. I may mention of some. Larissa, you just brought one up. Counselor is just like, here's my signature, next, rotation. I am a product of the local school system also, so I'm disappointed that not much has changed from when I graduated to now. But how can, and we'll start with Ida on this, as far as the services that are offered and the support system in place to be able to support and guide students.
Sure. First and foremost, I am extremely grateful of the opportunity to be able to be more involved with this remarkable network and continue to be of support, continue to be that advocate for students, and to be able to assist them and guide them through their educational journeys and with the various needs. So right now, we will be collaborating and supporting students through a series of workshops to be able to guide them through the transfer process is one of the goals. For example, Larissa mentioning that she's at the community college level. Well, what are those requirements to be able to transfer to a CSU, a UC, or a private four-year university would be one of the goals. Also for those that are in K-12 in the high school level, making sure that they are equipped and guided towards their particular individualized educational goals and be able to assist them to meeting those goals. For example, also with transferring, financial aid is also a key component of conversation, particularly for a lot of students, particularly those that are low income and first generation. So that is another topic that is of high importance that we will be further exploring and sharing with the students and with the community. Scholarships, I know within Ventura County, we have a lot of great opportunities for our local students, such as the Ventura County Scholarship Foundation that's available. I know through other associations, there's opportunities. So we want to make sure that our students take advantage of those scholarships to be able to finance their college education. And we also would like to focus a lot of the attention to the resources that are available as well within each respective campus based on student needs and what that's like individually. Certain students might find certain resources more beneficial than others. So just tailoring them in accordance to need would be ideal.
That's awesome. And now I'm just going to throw this question out there, and any of you can go ahead and jump onto it. But who is the target audience? Is it the junior? Is it the senior that's about to graduate high school? Is it the one that just graduated high school? Or is it the goal to try to reach them in their freshman year and prepare them to make sure that they're taking the classes, passing the classes in high school that they need so that they're on the right track. Again, I'll just throw that out there, and whoever wants to jump into that question.
Yeah, so I can definitely answer that one. The target is 8th through 12th graders. And so originally when we were trying to come up with, okay, well, it's important for high schoolers to know, but it's important to start at the earliest stage, which is 8th grade. And even though we don't want to bombard them with, oh, SATs, start studying and stuff like that, we really want to make sure that they understand the foundation of A through G requirements. And, even like basic terms, that's one thing that I want to push as far as we can is, FAFSA, when you fill it out, like, why is it important? Why should it matter to a student? Why should they even pay attention to it? Because sometimes certain resources will say, well, to a student, like, oh, you don't really need that because you have like this, or you're not this, or you're not that. But honestly, our network is really just for all students, not just for low income, not just for high income or middle income. It's for all students 8th through 12th grade to assure that they have a great foundation and understanding so that when they're going through the process, they really, they're not confused, they're not answering questions and that we're, there to back them up. So yeah.
It's awesome. And I wish that this network was around when I was in school, because I think there would have been a huge benefit. And because a lot of our community members, over 207,000 residents here in Oxnard, and over 75% is Latino Hispanic, and many of them are first generation people that are going into college and the university. So it's important to have that guidance and that foundation to be able to support them. I want to go into, you mentioned, Janessa, in regards to social media, and I think that's absolutely amazing. I think since everyone's on social media, especially now during the age of COVID, we're more hooked into our devices. What type of outreach is being done other than Instagram? Is there Facebook? Is there, I know Ida mentioned training sessions. How is the word getting put out to the public? And then in addition to that, and this is just not for you, Janessa, it could be anybody. I don't want you to feel like I'm bombarding you. And then on the second part of that is it only for Oxnard residents, or is it for the entire county, or anybody that really wants to know how to go on the right path?
Yeah, so I can definitely touch upon this, and then if anyone wants to add, definitely like jump in if I missed anything. But I think the goal is Ventura County students. That's who we want to really help. And I think, obviously we are students, but we have assistance from Ida and Esmeralda. It's all of us together because we understand that to help, students thrive within their education system, it's everyone involved. It's not just, teachers or just principals. And so what we are obviously aiming for, when I guess it's more safe to do so in schools, it's collaborating with the college and career technicians and helping counselors and, I guess assuring that students know that those resources are out there. Of course, a lot of that happens in person with, going to schools and getting the word out there. But we are definitely in the process of contacting all of the college and career technicians and from all across Ventura County to make sure that we can, visit the schools and help them out. Because once again, it takes an entire village to really help students.
Awesome. Does anyone else want to add to that? Esmeralda, Ida?
I'll add to that. To tag along exactly what Janessa was saying, that we're reaching out to the college and career technicians and counselors. We're also reaching out specifically to teachers. We've been invited to speak, primarily Janessa, Larissa, and Jimena, which is our student communications director, have been invited to speak to classes. And I think it really builds a connection when they speak one-on-one. So that way, because the teacher's already on Zoom with them, all they do is, join them and then just speak directly to the students. Right now, it's about getting the word out about our network. And just as we're doing here at Oxnard Live, we did that earlier on Tuesday with Oxnard High School, and we will continue doing it for now until we're able to physically be in front of students at schools once again.
Awesome. Ida, you want to add to that?
Sure. I just wanted to share that, given my background, I'm actually an educator. I've been an educator over the past 13 years, and I've worked in higher education at a four-year university and a community college currently, but I've also had direct experience in K-12. And so being part of the network, I'm really hoping to be able to contribute all of that experience and the networking with the different constituencies that I've built over the years to be able to help support more of the needs of the students and the network.
I want to ask you about that because I find that very interesting. Having that background and experience, one, what were the bigger challenges that you saw for students? And then two, your thoughts about this program, what motivated you to say, you know what, I want to be part of this network. I want to be able to give students these resources, this guidance and direction because of A, B, C, and D.
Sure. I'm definitely a student advocate, and I truly, genuinely enjoy giving back to my community and being an agent of change and paying it forward. So that instilled in me the opportunity that I was presented with to join this network, to be able to continue to do just that and continue to support our students and continue to give back to our community. Based on my experience as an educator, I've seen a lot of challenges, a lot of struggles, a lot of different experiences and adversity, particularly with lack of guidance and support. And particularly early on, I know Janessa hit on the importance of targeting the junior high or 6th through 8th, 7th, 8th grade level. And I find that is key, when we're able to really educate the students, but importantly as well, the parents, because oftentimes it's lack of awareness, lack of, mentorship too that they may not have in their lives. And that I've seen over the years as one of the contributing factors of students, getting lost, not really knowing, a lot of unknowns. And so having this network in place and being able to support the students in our community and the parents and creating that pipeline of education from as early as elementary all the way to college, I think it's just fascinating and quite crucial to be able to have in place. And we are definitely a resource to them all. And we're hoping to continue to support those needs as they as the students are faced with them. But there's always, that financial struggle, which is why I emphasize a lot of scholarships and financial aid. And, Janessa hit on the complexity of the financial aid application and how that can also be difficult or for students and parents to be able to share that personal information, but how significant it is to be able to determine the EFC, expected family contribution, of what they are eligible for. And so, those are some of my observations, but as I echoed in the past, I'm very happy to be here and excited to continue to support our students in our community.
That's awesome. I can honestly tell you, I went back to school, and yes, the FAFSA application is one of the most complex forms. You got to grab income taxes and then all this other information. And if you don't have, I remember the very first time when I graduated high school, and I'll say it in 07, my mom is a single parent. So she wasn't there to assist me filling out the FAFSA. So me, 17 and a half, trying to figure out the FAFSA, no support system, it was very, very difficult. So for the students that you're trying to reach out to, you're guiding them with the FAFSA, financial aid or other scholarships or grants that they can participate in. And you're guiding them as far as the path to take. Now, I know from Oxnard College, they do these career paths or education plans. Is that something that the network is also going to be providing for the students, as creating an education or an academic plan, whichever title you want to use, and then telling them right off the back, these are the things that you need to hit before you even consider registering for classes or seeing the counselor, get these done out of the way. And we'll jump to Esmeralda on that, to take that, and then we'll see if anyone else has anything else to add.
So the first thing I do want to emphasize to that, aside from guidance, is we're really serving as the information hub and a referral network. That's what we do. That's what we're going to focus on primarily, because there are already a lot of organizations out there that do wonderful things in this community. And we don't want to replace the counselors, and we don't want to replace the college and career technicians at school. We want to work with them and get our outreach out to be able to really have students know, because some students, you can tell them 1, 5, 10 times and they'll be like, oh, I didn't know about that. So it's a matter of just being consistent and consistently reaching students. There's wonderful organizations that already do that. We emphasize the very first time somebody contacts us, our very first question is always, have you spoken with your counselor about it? Because really the counselor at their school is going to be the best one to be able to guide them. So no, as of right now, we don't have plans to sit down and create an education plan. But what we do have is plans, if they're not getting the support that they need in the school, plans to help them a little bit more one-on-one, not necessarily telling them which classes they need to take, but guiding them in the sense of, this is the next person you should contact, or this is how your parents can contact to get the school moving, because ultimately they're going to be a product of that school system, and that school system is responsible for them. So we just want to make sure that we help strengthen those students to be able to, contact whomever they need to contact and really take charge of their own paths.
Awesome. Is there anything else that anybody else want to add to that?
I think something that I would just add is, I even heard this on Tuesday, and I've heard it multiple times from students, is that sometimes schools tend to really just push and only center around the UC and CSU system. And so one thing that I really want for this network is for students to be able to explore all of the possibilities, not just UC systems and CSU systems, but know about all 4 of the, college applications and all of the thousands of amazing other schools that are really out there. And so that's another thing that we, are pushing, and that's what we want students to know. Because sometimes, I know like in Larissa's experience, in my experience, it's just sometimes all we hear is UC and CSU. And we want students to know that there are schools out there that are amazing. And so we want to help them, definitely.
Now, excuse my ignorance on it, but you said that there's 4 systems other than the UCs and the CS. What are
Yeah.
those?
Yeah. So I learned about the system. It's called the Coalition app. It's a very new application process. But I remember reaching out to someone at my school site, and because obviously I had no idea what it was, and I was like, okay, well, someone, that's very knowledgeable should know about this and they can help me. But actually they didn't know what it was or that it existed. And so I was kind of just told, okay, well, you can look into it. And it was obviously an application like system, right? So I had to apply through it to apply to different schools. And so that was one kind of struggle, but it's like the UC system, the CSU, and then the Coalition and the Common App. So those are the 4 ones. And then, yeah.
Wow. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to ask, and I appreciate, Esmeralda, your explanation as to what the goal is for the network. It's not to replace anybody, but it is just to provide that additional support to be able to support our communities. So I appreciate that. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Oxnard Live. We're joined by the team of the Student for Students Network. We have Janessa, Esmeralda, Larissa, and Ida joining us. This is not the full team, but a portion of the team that is joining us tonight, talking about the support that they're offering to students and, their experiences as far as seeing what needed to be changed and where they felt that they can fill in the gaps. I want to talk about once COVID, well, I don't want to say clears because it's always changing on a weekly, monthly basis. But once we get to a safer foundation when it comes to COVID, what is the first goal for the network? Well, I guess whoever wants to jump in and take that one.
Yeah, so the first goal, obviously, we are the Student for Students Network. So the first goal is really to have like that sort of one-on-one, as Esmeralda mentioned, going to schools and having that one-on-one connection, a more personal connection, so that students can see, that we're allies to them and that we're here for them. We are students wanting to see them thrive within their system and get accepted into the schools that they dream of. So yeah, definitely visiting the school sites, partnering with the college and career technicians, and working with the education leaders within the system.
I know it was mentioned trainings. Now, summarize what type of these trainings will be like. Again, it's not replacing what the system is already. It's just providing information. So can you summarize exactly what type of these trainings are going to be put out? And then what specific trainings? I know Ida mentioned the financial aid, or not the financial aid, the transfer opportunities from a community college into a university. But what other trainings are coming through? Well, Ida or Janessa?
Yeah, so as far as like the trainings go, they're definitely like programs. And so in August we will be sort of launching, I guess you can say, two programs. And the first program, the first program is like a professions career series. And that's really just a program to help students. Like I said, I want students to be able to explore through our network. And so it's really about connecting with professionals, speaking with them, and then sharing that information about, their profession with students, so students can gain an idea. Obviously, I know in high school it can be a little scary trying to decide, okay, well, what major am I going to choose? What am I going to become? And so we want students to really be able to explore, what they're going to do, what they can possibly pursue. But then our other program is the career exploration program. And so that one, it's a little bit more, it's one-on-one. It's students working with students, helping them find their own major, helping them find what they'd like to ultimately pursue. And so, yeah, definitely. I don't know if anyone wants to touch more upon anything, but yes.
Anyone else want to jump in on that and add to it?
Well, those are basically the programs that we have scheduled coming for August. Now, real quick, we did decide to plan the network on following a school year calendar. We just figured that would be so much easier in order to be able to help students, at the time college applications are due. That's the time that we're focusing on all of that. The summer is time that we're focusing on internships, on summer programs that students can take. Spring is a time that we're focusing on just getting everything in order, getting all the questions answered. That way they can get ready for the next school year. So we're focusing that way in a school year calendar. I think if anything, COVID has taught all of us, even people that haven't ever been on a computer before, is how to use Zoom, how to use Google Meets, how to really take advantage of the virtual meetings to be able to get more people in. So as far as trainings, not necessarily training and where we really sit down and go through one thing, but a lot of workshops. We do have a lot of workshops planned, not necessarily 100% structured right now, but we are going to be putting out as they come, everything that we have coming up as for workshops, so students can join, students can really open that one-on-one conversation with other students from other universities. So the best way for that would be to follow the Student for Students at the Student for Students on Instagram to see every time that a new training or a new workshop is coming up on Zoom. After COVID, hopefully we can do all of that live for schools.
Now, of course, before we end the show, we're going to throw all that information out there because we want the public to have that information because it's very important. I want to ask in regards to trade schools, vocational schools. Is that also something that the network's going to be working with students on? Because they do require financial aid to go to vocational schooling also. Or are you guys more focused on the higher education component? Ida or Janessa or Esmeralda?
Our focus is helping students. That's our tagline. We help students. We help meet students where they need to be met, and we help students get to where they want to go. So if a student already knows that they want to do some kind of trade, if there's a pathway in their high school, we'll definitely let them know. We informed somebody just recently about a finance pathway that exists right now at Oxnard Oxnard High School that they had no idea about. And we're like, yes, you want to be a business entrepreneur, you can take these finance classes at Oxnard High School. You could take that pathway if you'd like to start gaining, a little bit more knowledge. And hey, maybe they decide that that's not for them, but at least they're starting early. So as far as students, if a student comes to us, and even Larissa is studying to be a dental hygienist. So maybe there is somebody else that says, hey, I don't necessarily want to go get my bachelor's or my master's, even though it would be helpful. But if there's another way that they can do some kind of certification program, some kind of career program that they can take, that's definitely something that we help inform them as well.
Ida, is there something else you want to add to that?
Sure. Yes, I feel that it's quite important that they get all the information that they need as they come to us and be able to refer them as well as needed, and also share with them the different opportunities and resources that are available, because again, it's student to student case, but I feel that oftentimes there could be some misconceptions with like vocational trade school or private school, or cost, and whether it's a good program for their specific major or not. So there's different variations that I think needs to really be considered, but we're definitely here to make sure that they're well informed, that they use their resources, and that we refer them as needed.
So I'm very curious, is this a nonprofit, or how is it, the program being put together? How is it, there's time that's required for it, the resources, what is the funding aspect of this network?
So right now we are 100% volunteer. What we're really doing is we have 6 board members, all volunteers. But aside from that, we have, I believe the last check was about 40 student ambassadors. And so these student ambassadors, they're also our volunteers. They're the ambassadors, they're the voice, they're the vision. That's how they help us reach out to other students. As far as a nonprofit, yes. We are working on getting all of our legal ducks in a row, as you would say, getting all of that information. And that's actually my responsibility. That's what I'm doing, is I'm helping, structure this as a viable business. That way it can continue on. For now, funding is, 100% donation. So we are getting donations. We are not a 501c3 yet. We are in the works. We are hoping to get that tax exemption soon. However, it is a process that we are definitely working on for now.
That's awesome, because I know there will be a lot of people out there that would want to be able to support this because it is a great asset. I want to ask one final question, and it goes to Janessa and Larissa about this. As students, and as students that recently graduated from high school, how do you feel knowing that you have the opportunity to be able to support the next group of students, from 8th grade all the way into high school, even though you yourself is going to school? How does that feel for you? And we'll start with Larissa on this.
I really sorry. I'm really excited to be helping other students here and, like I said, help them get the knowledge they need to go to pursue their goal. Because I mean, for me, first I was undecided, and now after like looking around and for myself, because this wasn't a network yet, looking around for myself to figure out what exactly I wanted to do, and instead of having them kind of go on their own and make them feel alone, we can help them and come together to see what they want and help them go down the right path.
Awesome. Janessa?
Yeah, well, I think just first off, my parents and definitely my teachers, something that they kind of always said was that they want us to be better than they were. They want us to have the things that we didn't. And I think that's what, every parent, everyone wants. And so I guess when I think of the question that you just said, that's what comes to mind is I'm the oldest grandchild, and so I want my younger cousins and I want my younger peers to be better than I was and to have the things that I, unfortunately didn't. But now I'm very happy to be able to provide that for them. And I'm very excited to be able to help students that, although I've never met them, I'm definitely here for them and I'm backing them up and I'm ready to see them thrive. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I want, we'll have Janessa provide a website, social media pages that people can follow along and make sure that they are in the loop when it goes to information being thrown out. You want to provide a website or social media pages?
Yeah, so our website, our Instagram, our YouTube, and our Facebook are all at the student for students. Our Twitter is just a little different, but it's students_net. So yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I am joined by the team behind the Student for Students Network, which is a up and coming group that is an information hub to be able to provide the information needed for you to be able to go to school, whether it's a trade school, university, community college, or a program. They are here to assist you. So be sure to follow their social media pages, as Janessa mentioned, at the Student for Students, and their website. Lots of information to be put out there. So please be sure to follow them. And I know I will be following, making sure that you guys are on the right path, and that if there's any way that I can assist, please feel free to reach out to me. So Janessa, Esmeralda, Larissa, and Ida, thank you all for joining me tonight, and showcasing what your guys' network is, because I believe it's very important. We'll do a quick roundabout. Final comments. We'll start with Esmeralda.
I just want to say thank you so much for having us here on your platform. I've actually watched your platform before, and I think you do have very informational stuff going. So I'm very glad that you invited us to be a part of it. And anybody that's looking to get involved with the Student for Students Network, whether you're a professional that would like to volunteer to be able to help guide other students, not necessarily through a mentorship program, but just, offer advice, offer any input that you might have on your field, we'd appreciate it. If you're a student that would like to join as well, whether you want to volunteer, whether you need the help, you can find all the information. And the website's actually thestudentforstudents.org. The social medias are at the Student for Students.
Thank you. We'll jump to Larissa.
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to be here and everything. Never feel afraid to ask us any questions. Feel free to contact us at any time. We're here to help you guys, and I hope we can help you guys go down the right path.
Awesome. Ida?
Yes, I echo the gratitude to be able to offer us with this space and this time to be able to share the wonderful work that this network is doing to continue to support and help the next generation of educators and students, and in hopes to be able to connect them to their educational goals, as well as lead them to proper career pathways. Thank you.
And Janessa.
Yes, they all said it very well, but thank you so much to you, of course, for having us here on your platform. It really means a lot, and what you're doing is absolutely wonderful. But just to the students, parents, and teachers, we are here. We are here to help strengthen programs and resources and to help students in our community because, we want to see our next generations be able to do great things. And so we're very excited. Thank you.
Awesome. Again, thank you to the team behind the Student for Students Network. Visit their website. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Oxnard Live. Please be sure to join us next week, Thursday, as we have Oxnard's very own Mayor John C. Setagosa join us. He completed 100 days as mayor. We'll be talking to him about his experiences so far, how it feels to be back on the city council dais, and the transition from county supervisor over to mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Oxnard Live. Please be sure to visit our website at oxnardlive.net. Oxnard Live in Espanol is every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. Oxnard Live is every week, Thursdays at 4 p.m. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so that you never miss an episode. Oxnard Live, all live and 100% real. Have a great night, everyone.